favorite thing to say in any room. And gentlemen, yes, we acknowledge you too. I'm so pleased to be here because I absolutely love talking about how do you know when you're ready to get a procurement opportunity, but how do you know when you're not ready? Because there's often a perception by any business owner of any maturity, of any level of preparedness, that they're ready. Just give me the opportunity and I'll prove to you that I'm ready for it. And I always say to entrepreneurs, the right opportunity at the wrong time will kill your business. And that's your reputation. So you've got to be very precious about your reputation, because I promise you the market will not forget you and it will not forgive you. Okay, so in as much as we're all, of course we're in business to make money. I'm in business to make money. But we've got to have a very heightened level of self-awareness. And you have to be able to look at an opportunity that you're desperate to grab with both hands and say, I'm not ready for it. And do the work that you need to do to make sure that you're ready for it. So who am I, what do I do, and why am I here? As they said, I'm Bupi Kupe from a company called Zivoli Growth Partners. We are in the business of capacity building small businesses. What does that mean? A lot of entrepreneurs either have an opportunity to work with a corporate, and the entrepreneur won't say, I'm not ready. The corporate won't say to the entrepreneur, you're not ready. And we build the bridge. We say, we're happy for you to give this guy an opportunity, but let us assess their readiness. Let us get them ready if they aren't. And then at the right time, you can afford them the same opportunity. So we're not here to block people from getting opportunities. We just want the opportunity to be given to you at the right time. And if that time is not today, we will assess what the gap is in your business and actually help you close it. You may not get it today, but you might get it 6 months from today. And that will be a difference between building your business and killing it, right? Okay, so how do we do that? So the leading statement was about our platform Shared Impact, but I would actually like to close with talking about Shared Impact. I would like to start by playing a video on our platform called Linkage, which has a direct relationship with Shared Impact. But I think we need to contextualize the use case for Linkage and the problem that we're looking to solve in order for us to then make sense of Shared Impact. So I'm going to pause here, take a seat, and ask that we please play the video on a high-level view of what the Linkage problem statement is that we're looking to solve and how it does that. Thank you. Yes, ma'am. Okay, that's fine. I will try my best to be the consolation prize to the video and tell you a little bit about the platform. So we find that when we work with our corporate clients, we have two main stakeholders that we work with. On the one hand, we have supply chain, who obviously is in the business of giving opportunities to any business, including small businesses. And then on the other hand, we have enterprise and supplier development, whose mandate is to develop and capacitate small businesses. However, there isn't a platform, or up until we introduced Linkage to the market, there wasn't a platform that brings those stakeholders, in essence, to the same table, and really to solve the problem that I was alluding to earlier. So enterprise and supplier development, please develop the right SMEs from whom I can procure, right? And so Linkage seeks to enable that. One of the key ways that we do that, I mean, the platform has many features, and if you go into the Linkage website, you can actually watch this video, so I would urge you to do that just to understand the platform a bit more. But essentially what we do is a small business can register on the platform and you provide us with a range of documents, and that enables us to grade you. So the highest grading is platinum, the lowest grading is blue. And the reason why we introduced the grading system is to mitigate that risk that I was talking about earlier, where it's the right opportunity at the wrong time. So if you as an entrepreneur load your documents on the platform and you get a grading, and blue is not the one that you want to get, right? Because, I mean, that means you're probably like a few years away from an opportunity. And platinum is ideally what you want to achieve. But whether you're landed blue, bronze, silver, gold, or platinum, now you know how ready you are for a procurement opportunity. And then you also know the gaps that you need to close in order for you to get to platinum. Just to loosely explain what we use to classify the gradings, it's a combination of your compliance documents, and nobody will work with you if your compliance is not in order, and also your track record. So have you done this before and have you done it well? Okay? And also your financials. Have you been in business for longer than 10 minutes? And more importantly, is your business in a financial healthy position? Those are three very important things, because the financial one is probably more important for you than it is for the corporate that you're trying to work with. Because if I give you an opportunity today, you cannot then come back to me and say, I actually don't have the money to honor this contract. So the financial one tells you the value of the contracts that you should be pursuing and whether you actually have the ability to service that contract. Because at best you're going to be paid in 2 weeks when you have a corporate client. At worst, you're probably going to be paid in 90 days. Either way, you have to be fulfilling this contract, right? So if your financial position is not healthy, you're setting yourself up to fail. So we look at those three categories, and out of that, like as I said, it gives you a grading. So on the corporate side, supply chain only sees the platinum graded SMEs because supply chain is not in the business of developing SMEs. However, enterprise and supply development would see all the others, so the blue, the bronze, the silver, and the gold, because they actually have the appetite to develop them. And of course, the goal is to get everybody to platinum. So that's the logic of the platform. And then we developed Shared Impact because we are in the business of capacity building small businesses, as I said. But remember, our mandate comes from our corporate client. So a corporate has to say to me, I would love for you to go and develop 10 Black women-owned laptop suppliers in Secunda, okay? But I don't have the flexibility to, on a client's budget, develop everybody that I feel deserves development. And so we've ended up with a database of thousands and thousands and thousands of SMEs that didn't end up on any of our programs. And so we said, these guys have put their hands up and they obviously want to be capacitated. How do we bring that to them? And we developed Shared Impact. So what is Shared Impact? Shared Impact is the ability for any corporate with a small budget who doesn't have the means to run a full-on program to contribute to this kitty of money that we then use to develop SMEs that didn't end up on a program. So that even if you didn't end up on a program that a corporate is sponsoring, you still get the development that you're actually keen to access. And once you're capacitated, we wanted you to move from blue to bronze to silver to gold to platinum, so that you can then go after these procurement opportunities that we're also keen for. So linkage does give you visibility to corporates for you to get opportunities, but it's on condition that you're platinum. Shared Impact collates money from corporates to enable you to be capacitated in order to get to platinum. So the two work hand in hand, which is why I thought it was important for us to have a look at the linkage video before we talk about Shared Impact. Now, so Mpupi, I've been on Shared Impact, I've been on linkage, I started at silver, I'm now platinum, I still don't have a contract. That's a big thing, isn't it? I always say to small businesses, don't wait until the opportunity comes to you. Go find the opportunity. What does that mean? Because I mean, this all sounds really great, but practically, what does that mean? One is, I encourage, especially if you're in a technical industry, so if your service offering is quite technical in nature, we can get you to platinum on linkage. But remember I talked about the fact that we look at your financials, your compliance, and your trade record. I didn't talk about industry-specific accreditation, certifications, etc. Those tend to be the things that trip you up, aren't they, when you are being considered for an opportunity. So my advice is always, before an opportunity is even being presented to you, there are so many places where you can find RFPs or tender documents. Even if you look at it and you go, oh, the requirements are too stringent, I don't think I can get this opportunity. Use that as like your checklist, right? And satisfy yourself that you meet, if not all, most of those requirements. Because then you know that next time I submit a proposal for this, I'm actually more ready than I was the last time when I saw it. I find that we sit and we wait, and then you self-exclude, which you should, but you kind of sabotaged yourself, right? The first time you saw this thing, even when you knew then that you didn't qualify, use it to get better, because there's going to be another opportunity. And if you've not done nothing between the two times, you're always then going to be marking yourself out of that exam. So take any, it can be an RFP, it can be like an industry body document, guideline, anything, guys. There's a lot of information out there. And use it to empower yourself between opportunities, because you're effectively then readying yourself for another opportunity. So you've done all of this and you think, I'm really, really ready, but I'm not finding the opportunity. The second thing I always advise is find your wish list client and unashamedly, guys, inbox them on LinkedIn. Like, find that person in the corporate. For me, I'm like, if I inbox 100 people and 10 respond, it's not a failure, right? It's 10 people that hadn't responded the day before. So why am I saying this? Because it takes a lot of effort. Don't have this romantic idea that everybody that you reach out to actually wants to talk to you, because there's probably 10 others like you who have inboxed them. But obviously then the onus is on you to make sure that your pitch, if you will, stands out. So please don't say to me, hi, Thomas, I'm Whoopi. I do SME capacity building. I just want to have a little bit of your time. What? No. Hi, I've been in this business for 7 years. We've impacted over 300 SMEs. A certain percentage of them have gotten procurement opportunities. We have representation all over the country. Our biggest focus is rural area. I know that you guys have a presence in those communities. So let's make impact together. Make it stand out. Like, because I'm not going to remember you. And then I'm not compelled to act to honor the meeting, because you sound like all the other 10 that I don't want to meet with, right? So what is unique about you that will make me take the time to meet with you? And when you've satisfied yourself that you've written a killer pitch, and it mustn't be too long, because people's concentration span on devices is very short, then wait for them to come back to you. I can tell you, if you send out 100, somebody will come back to you. And that you only need that one, right? And then obviously do it justice, and it'll attract others and so on and so forth. But I'm not going to get into that. So one, guys, please don't be ashamed if you're not ready. Use that to empower yourself. And don't insist that you're ready when you're not. You will kill your business. And I'm telling you, the market will not forget, and it will not forgive. When you are then ready, make sure that you also fulfill the technical requirements that we won't necessarily be paying attention to, but that you know are relevant to your industry, and then unapologetically just find people where they are and ask for a conversation. Because that conversation that you have with them initially is going to lead to them remembering you when they then go to RFP. And then at least you'll have an opportunity to participate in that process. So don't sit and wait for it to come to you. It doesn't happen. The men don't come to you in 90 days. The opportunities don't come to you in 90 days. You go and get the opportunities. Okay. All right, cool. I'm going to allow for questions. Well, am I within my 15 minutes? Yay. Okay, I'm going to okay. Thank you.
Hello, guys, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Gugu Mutsoning. I'm a career coach and startup mentor. I have one corporate client. I think it is killing my business because I wait 90 days and it finds me really, really broke. I can't pay my employees on time, and when I don't make sales within the 3 months, it becomes really a troublesome thing for my business. So my question is, all the strategies that you've just shared with us, those are like something that I'm planning to do, but it is a matter of how do I find other EOHs? You know, where do I find the same partners? Maybe if I can have 10, yeah.
Yes.
You know, yes. So I've done one. So how do I? This one I met on the street. It was like,
oh, cool.
Yes, it was like, let's.
So don't remember that part.
Yes. No, but it was a nice story because it was a cleaner, Alex, and I was like, I'm gonna chat to this lady, and 3 months later. She was the one who became my partner. So it's not going to be like that all the time. Yes. So now you talk about LinkedIn. I've done LinkedIn and stuff, but how do I do it better? How do I go out there and find the same?
So first of all, we're currently looking for coaches, mentors, and subject matter experts. So please register on our platform. Oh, good. Great. Okay, so I'll answer it in a number of ways. So first of all, and this is to everybody, né? The reason why corporates want us on 90-day payment terms is because it serves their cash flow. Guys, if I pay you in 90 days and it's going to kill your business, listen to me. Don't take it. This sounds like insane advice, right? You're going to die anyway. You're going to die anyway. And you know what's going to happen? Now you're going to die and you've incurred costs. So this is a worse death than if you didn't have the contract, right? I promise you guys, don't take it. Having said that, the don't take it is my second option. The first option is, and I know that as small businesses, you sit there with EOH and you're like, I'm so grateful. I don't want to sound like I'm being fussy. Girl, fuss it up. And because a lot of corporates, and to be fair to the end user, because remember the contract holder or the contract issuer is normally the end user. And to be fair to them, they don't necessarily know that in supplier development somewhere, they have concessions that they make for payment terms for small businesses. So please don't not put it on the table. They know 90 days is going to kill you. They just don't necessarily have the mandate to proactively offer you 14 days. Does that make sense? But if you ask for it and ask for 14 days, it's going to sound very cheeky, but at worst, you're going to land on 30 days, right? Because if you ask for 30 days, you might land on 60 days, and then we might as well be at 90 days, right? So ask for the 14 days. And if they don't know about it, ask them if they are aware of whatever their supplier development policies say about early payment terms for small businesses. It's not disrespectful. I promise you it's not disrespectful. And if it truly doesn't exist, which I'd be surprised if it didn't, then they'll say no. But if it did, you're going to end up on a 14-day payment term. Funny story, my mom and I had the same client, different businesses, but same client. And we were on a 14-day because I suppose we know this. And then she didn't even read that part of the contract because this client is like, I got this client. And then she signed the contract. And then she's like, my money's not coming. I'm like, what are your payment terms? She's like, where is that? I'm like, on your contract. She's like, it's 90. I'm like, did you not read your contract? She's like, I was just so happy to get them as a client. I'm never that happy to get anybody as a client that I'm not saying that I don't have clients that don't pay me in 90 days, but when I do my cash flow and 90% of my clients are on 14 and 30, then I can afford to have 10% on 90 days. But if in your scenario, I would say, of course, the contract is what it is now. It's difficult to negotiate contract terms in the middle of the contract. But when you're up for contract renewal, you've learned things, you've got insights, bring those to the table. And then the second thing I wanted to add is, I love the fact that you're already like stalking people on LinkedIn, continue. But you're also in a space that people want to hear your voice. And by that, I mean, people really care about what you have to say about what you've learned when you're supporting entrepreneurs. So start producing really great content. Start producing really great content. Put it on your website, put it on your LinkedIn. Oh, and by the way, another thing you should do, and I really am whispering this, tag people. Even tag me. I mean, I'll be rolling my eyes, but you won't see that. And the reason why you must tag people is because the people that you've tagged, their people see your stuff, right? And then all of a sudden you've broadened your network. And because you are now, quote unquote, associated with me, somebody goes, oh, Mpupi, I can work with her. So go tag everybody. Okay. So that's my advice for you. There's somebody over there in the corner. Is your voice as loud as mine? Do you understand? What? First of all, come on!
Say, in regards to payments, I spent 2 years of my business with so much debt because I was practicing at the time that we were on 90-day payment and they were had credit limit of 100,000. Yeah. And I was happy because I applied 100,000. And so I sat down and realized that I'm always incurring 2 months of debt, not paying suppliers. I literally took a break on that depression. So and then I went to governmental and this lady told me, you need to be confident. You need to stand up and go to the people, especially in the industry of English, Africana. Like I speak Africana. So they kind of checked me out. I tried myself to see that. So basically I got one corporate where I sat down and I'm like, I can't do 30 days, unfortunately I can't supply you because my children are suffering. I'm on a 7-day, every time I get paid. 100%. And the message that as women, you always sell yourself short. We do. You know, when you get there, they say, no, we give you business. You take whatever that they give you and then you walk away. But now you have transport, you have logistics, and whatever that you're doing, you are one-man show. You're not covering the driver, you're not covering the assistant, you're not covering that. So you think you made a margin of 25% profit, and you didn't make any money because you didn't pay yourself. You've got to pay the bills, you've got to pay the car, you've got to pay all of that. But I've realized that having relationships with your suppliers and your clients is very important because you always negotiate the terms, and if you sit down on the table with them, you are able, as a small business, it gives them points for BBE to be able to
100%. But you know what? Can I tell you what she's saying, right, guys? And my thing is, so the depression story, by the way, if I could speak on nothing else, I promise you I would. Why? Because we don't say it enough. And then when we do say it, it's not even the people that you're saying that are shaming you, you're shaming yourself. Shame on you for shaming yourself. Like, guys, if this thing was a walk in a park, there would be no employees. Like, do you understand what I'm trying to say? And also, I always say that my falls are the worst, but my rise. Listen, I will take every fall because when I get up from there, girl, I'm just like, listen, there are lessons in that fire. Okay, so don't be afraid to fail. Don't be afraid to fall. Don't be afraid to have depression. I tell everybody, okay, so I'm going to digress for 10 seconds. I promise I'll cut back. I literally just came back from a 10-day silent meditation course. When I came back, it was like, how was the loony bin? I was like, it was great. I'm not even trying to correct the fact that you're saying I was in the loony bin. And do you know why I went on a 10-day silent? For 10 days, I didn't speak. Do you know why? Because the number of problems I solve every day are driving me crazy. I needed stillness for 10. Do you think I'm going to apologize for that? Oh, heck no. How you hear it, how you brand me is not on me, it's on you. But I'm proud of the fact that you could find your voice. Find your voice and use it. Let your mistakes teach you lessons. Learn those lessons and take them with you everywhere thereafter. Because, you know, the bulk of what you learn, guys, it's like a child who you say, don't put your hand on the stove. That child's going to put their hand on the stove. But once they've done it, they will never do it again. There are lessons that you can learn from me, and there are a lot of lessons that you learn by paying your own school fees. It's important because now you're a great mentor for it. Please go register on our database because I will pair you with somebody who actually is in your space and needs your advice. And you're a mentor, by the way. That's another thing. If you've got the experience and you've had the hard knocks, you are a mentor. So don't limit your ability to pass on your lessons to other people. Anyway, that was a bit of a speech and I was just trying to answer. Okay. Any other questions? Can you project? I find the mic. Okay, it's somebody beat you to it, but I'll give you mine and then I'll take it back. Please stand.
Okay.
Thank you.
Hi everyone. I'm also a business coach. I'm a mentor and I do training in the financial management space. So you found someone you can pair with.
Yes.
I just have a comment. The biggest challenge that we deal with as mentors and coaches, because that's purely what I do. I don't do anything else. I just do business coaching, training, and mentorship. Is the fact that we help so many SMMEs get what they need, but no one helps us get what we want. So, I'm glad FNB is here. We apply for funding at FNB, we don't qualify. But we help small businesses apply for funding every single day. We don't qualify for CEDA, we don't qualify for NYDA because we don't have a product that we produce. So the biggest challenge that we are facing as service providers is the fact that even when you get your win and you celebrate with your SMME for getting that funding, it hits differently because when you get home you realize no one is going to do the same thing. So I think my advice is just to say that we need to keep ourselves sane by taking 100% of the win that we give to other businesses, and also we need to keep ourselves in the business purely because of the wins that we give to other people, but we also, like you said, need to take some time off and steps back to reflect and also to give time to ourselves so that we can be able to see if it is still worth being in the space that we're in, because I think that's where the depression comes from. It comes from the fact that we hold on so much because we're doing so much for so many people that when we have to take a step back and we have to put a stop to what we do, we think about all the other people that will be impacted. So I think it's very important that we take that step back.
100%. Thank you, ma'am.
Not so loud. Good morning, everybody. My name is Tuli Kate, and I am the CEO and Managing Director of Sangena Pagati, which is a logistics company. I transport cement and coal.
Nice.
So my question to you is, I know that on the linkage app, if I'm saying it correctly, there are different gradings. So once you get into platinum and you're like, yes, everything is great, is there a waiting period before you will get an opportunity?
Well, yeah.
Yeah, so that's just my question. It's very brief.
So firstly, I love it. Well done. Love the business. So there isn't a waiting period per se. So the logic is we give a database of SMEs to our corporate clients that have subscribed to Linkage so that when they're looking for SMEs that they want to do business with, they go to Linkage. So it's not a waiting period per se, but it's like as and when the client needs that service, right? They'll run a search on the platform and then you'll be a hit and then they'll invite you to participate in an RFP process. Yeah. So technically there isn't one, but it's like you'll get an opportunity as often as our corporate clients have opportunities. Yeah. Okay. Okay, cool. I have a minute. Oh, I'm allowed one more question. Hi.
Oh, I'd like to ask a question. Hi guys. I'm in manufacturing, so I just wanted to ask.
Do you have a name?
Oh, okay. Sorry guys. My name is Sijeng Noche, and I run a manufacturing business. I'd like to find out, right, in terms of getting ready, like practically, okay, if I am producing, I'm just making an example, like 10 units of something, and a client that I am seeking to reach is going to be on that 100 level. Practically, how do you get ready? Because you're not at a place to produce the 100. So I can't get my capacity up to 100 and hire extra people who are basically doing nothing with the hope of I'm just getting ready for this big opportunity that's coming. So how do I get ready, but in a practical way, whereby I'm not like having people sitting and I'm just hoping that getting on that platinum status and then, like, I think you understand what I'm saying.
So it's like, how do I grow organically
Yeah.
without incurring too many costs up front? Because those very costs are the ones that are going to kill my business because I don't have the opportunity. To be honest, it's like some of it is practicality and some of it is magic. Because it's like, it's a cart and horse situation, isn't it? It's like chicken and egg, like which one came first?
Yeah.
So let me actually answer that question by telling you our story a little bit. So we've been in business for 7 years. Saying this part of my story is, I suppose it's the truth and you'll learn from it, right? But don't do what I did. So we were in business for 7 years and we created a website because somebody said we need one. And then we never looked at it again for like forever, right? This is like 2014 we started the business. When did we look at our website at the beginning of lockdown? Why? Because it was like everybody went online and people actually go to your website. So it was like, this is terrible. What I'm trying to get to is we learned that we haven't been doing enough marketing. And services guys, you will understand this, right? Because we don't sell product, you are your brand. I had been in business for 6 years. Nobody knew me. I had clients, and it was moving along. The business wasn't doing badly, but like the market had no idea who we are, right? And then so naively I go, oh, we need a marketing consultant. And then the lady comes in and she goes, I'm going to do this, and my budget is, and I was like, hold on, what? But we had to make a conscious decision to sacrifice other things, to put money into marketing, and it was ridiculous money. Trusting that the results will come, and I'm telling you they came. So what I'm trying to say to you is of course be responsible about it, don't be reckless. But it is a little bit of practicality and a whole lot of magic, because I have learned that if you don't take the risk, you will always operate there and you will feel safe and comfortable and whatever. And my big thing now is my comfort zone petrifies me. If I feel comfortable, I go, what's wrong? Like I'm used to having palpitations and I'm always like low-key depression. And then anxiety is like, no, it's me. And then I'm just like, okay, panic attack is like, nah, I want. Like, that's normal. Well, I really shouldn't normalize it, right? Because I'm going to be crucified. But it's true. It's true. So what I'm saying to you is if you are like, I've been producing 10 units and I'm bored, that you've already answered your question. You need to, and I'm not saying get to 100, but challenge yourself to get to 20. And then also, when you do start to consciously make that decision to expand, When people ask you how many units you can produce, start saying 20. Because you're putting it out there. And let me tell you, the universe will deliver. That's just the way it works, right? But don't try and go from 10 to 100. I've seen so many businesses die from doing that, right? So please don't do it, guys. I know we sold the Uber story. Nobody tells you that Uber still doesn't make money. They sell you these unicorn stories and the romantic parts of those stories, and they're great. But not everybody is an Uber, and you shouldn't want to be an Uber. I don't want to be an Uber. You should want to grow organically so that you can sustain your business. But you must, when you feel comfortable, be very afraid. Honestly. And challenge yourself. It doesn't have to be growth, but it must be something else. Marketing, cost cutting. You must always be challenging yourself. That's the only way that you're going to stay true to being an entrepreneur. Okay? I think you're about to boo me out of the room. Okay. Ladies, love everything you do. Love the courage it takes to be an entrepreneur. Hugs to all of you. I wish you everything of the best. Thank you for taking the time to be here to reinvest in your business. I promise you, nobody's going to walk out of here with 0 insights. Take it with you and run. Have an amazing day.